Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our new moon meditation in Libra today. Oh, this will be a good meditation. We need something really beautifully calming today, don't we? So we have, I'm not an astrologer by any means, but I do tune into the energies. And then when I hear astrological reports, it makes sense to me because of what I'm experiencing. So, to put it in kind of astrological terms, we are in the beginning stages of a 40-day Venus retrograde, and Venus is at home in Libra. But right now, on top of the energy of the retrograde, we also have Venus, which is squaring Mars, and that is not pretty energy, generally speaking. So if you feel as though there's some kind of internal battle going on with you, that is why. And because it's in Venus and this is in Libra, we're looking at feeling that energy probably predominantly around relationships and around money. This is, of course, new moons are all about new beginnings and the opportunity to kind of start fresh, or take the opportunity to do your work so you can start fresh. I think that's probably a better way to look at it. If you don't take that opportunity and you just keep plugging along doing the things you've always done that have never worked before, I wouldn't expect that a new moon is just going to necessarily give you a new opportunity for something different. You have to show up on your end. But with this new moon, we have a good chance, if we're willing to look, to take time to settle in and look at where you're feeling it the most, at your relationships, probably with your significant other, because sexuality is a big part of Venus. But it doesn't have to be just that. It could be business relationships, but anything interpersonal for you where there's a solid connection. And also your relationship to your finances. And you want to be looking at where in there is there still not balance, because Libra is all about balance. Finding balance, doing what we need to do to work through things so that we can come to a place of balance. That's what Libra wants to do. And that's the job right now. If your finances have been a mess forever and you've struggled to get them on track, it's time to dive in deeper and to get very, very real with yourself about, if there's more that goes out than comes in. Well, obviously either more needs to come in or you've got to, cut back on what goes out. And that can feel very challenging, certainly when there isn't a lot to work with. But you'd be amazed at the little things you find when you really take a look, where you spend money on things that you have good justifiers for. But when you put them under a magnifying glass, you're like, is it really necessary? Even though I've been holding that this is necessary, such as I have to have a manicure done monthly, or my nails look terrible and I can't have that at work. I mean, we have to get real about these little things. And then in our relationships, finding balance there, of course, is always a challenge anyway, especially with our significant others who we've basically subconsciously chosen because they're the ones who are going to challenge us the most. Where can we come together? Can we hear each other's points of view? It's funny with the whole thing that happened with Kavanaugh. I'm kind of relating it right now in the moment to this energy. It's like, what a shame that you have two such polarized sides of the governmental coin that couldn't seem to just be in a space where they were really hearing each other. It was all about, this is what I believe and this is what I'm going to hold. And I refuse to, acknowledge or really allow myself to take in and look at where you're coming from and why you might be coming from that place, and the space where there's truth to that. Because remember, there's truth to all of it, depending on where your vantage point is. So From one person's perspective, it's true. From the person on the opposite side, it's not true, and their perspective is true. And we can get very, very locked into that energy. Libra wants to heal it. Libra wants to kind of get in there and go, well, okay, like it doesn't mean I can meet you all the way, but I can accept that this part of what you're saying, I can see where that affects you so deeply. And I can have compassion for that. And I can, look and go, well, okay, so where can I back off a little bit so you don't feel so much pressure from me? Or, so that maybe if I yield a little and you yield a little, we can come to a meeting point that will be mutually beneficial. So that's the whole thing. The energy right now can be kind of obsessive, and you can find yourself obsessing over stuff. Again, mostly relationship and financial, but depending on where it hits in your chart, of course, it could be slightly different. So obsessing's fine as long as you use it as the thing that's going to help you go deeper into yourself and to uncover what's begging to be uncovered. If there wasn't anything to be uncovered, you wouldn't be obsessing over anything, because you would just be present in the moment, and that would be that. So obviously, whatever's coming up needs your attention. So it always seems like I end the same way, do your work. It always comes down to that. Just do your work. And that's why we're doing the meditation. I'm here to facilitate, to help you in doing your work. So as we go into meditation today, take the opportunity to allow whatever energies can come forward for you to look at and see through, especially, not to attach to any of it, but just to see it for what it is and ask for it to be, released in grace. And I will be here to help you do that. So my love, very, very deep love to all of you for joining me today for our new moon meditation. I hope you enjoy it, and feel free to stay on for the whole 2 hours if you so choose. I love you all. Have a wonderful meditation.